Hello, Master Ramkrishna here. Basically, we are discussing another topic, that is city creation. In this, basically, we are discussing about one topic, that is the Bollywood group industry. Basically, that is the Peace Group. Basically, Bollywood basically have given one name. Basically, that is also Peace Group. Basically, if anybody says that, basically, who is Bollywood? अरे भाई ये तो Peace Group है. Basically, they basically spreading the love. Basically, in front of the world. Basically, they basically just spreads the love. Basically, for example, one person basically is not having the marriage. Na, they basically tries to do the marriage basically of that particular person. Basically they don't basically tell that अरे भाई ये तो गंदा लड़का है. They don't basically spread that basically, because more than 100 crore people basically already died. That's why basically I'm telling you, they basically don't spread the name basically यार ये तो बहुत गंदा लड़का है. In Hindi that was. In English I will explain. This boy basically is not a good person basically. His character basically is not good basically. That bad basically things basically they don't spread basically. They spread good basically, so that basically his marriage basically is supposed to happen basically. In this basically the Bollywood group failed basically, so the set of government group basically got activated. which अरे भाई ये Bollywood group तो अपना काम नहीं कर रहा है भाई. Bollywood groups are not doing their task basically. That is the peace group basically. So government started doing the duties of Bollywood group basically. That are the mask marriage basically started basically. That is government started actually. That was actually supposed to do by Bollywood group basically. That is the peace group, because they have given the name as peace basically. By set of group, who given the name basically, that I don't know. But Bollywood is equal to peace group, that basically everybody knows basically. So they tries to solve the problem as possible as basically. But here basically they also failed basically, because more than 100 crore murder was happened basically due to Bollywood group also basically. And in this basically Bollywood equal to Hollywood also basically, because all are one na basically. Hollywood entertainment industry basically, that has basically given one name basically, that is the entertainment industry. So entertainment industry basically means peace group basically. They always spread the peace basically. For example, one fight is basically ongoing, so that group basically try to solve the problem basically. What actually happened they keeps the track of each and every fight basically which has happened wherever basically into the city, because small fight basically converts into the world war. And this world war basically which is ongoing, that also basically is the story of small war only basically. Where basically it war basically might have started, that basically you have to track basically. But that is basically the Bollywood group basically. I basically feel that basically Bollywood groups are peace basically, but here they also failed basically. So 100 crore, more than 100 crore people is already dead. Still basically the war is ongoing. So try to solve out the problem basically. That is basically my advice basically. Because more 100 crore people basically will die basically. That is 100% basically I'm telling you. So peace group basically, that is the Bollywood group basically. So one of the person told that basically city creation basically is ongoing. So city is equal to kahanis, and here basically kahani is now war has started. War has already started, and now war is equal to problem solutions basically, that also you can say problem solution, or basically you can say problem solution will be the perfect word basically. So war already started. Now basically the whatever war is basically happening basically, for that basically you have to find out the solution basically, because war has already started. So now basically you can't say that basically अरे भाई सब revert कर दो, because you can't do that basically. So war already started. Now basically you have to solve the problem basically. That is given name as a problem solution basically. Then basically the blood cells group basically. Because why war basically started basically? Why basically the war started? One of the person told that basically uh, existing blood group basically is ongoing basically. Their stories are basically ongoing, right? Basically, so another person told that yes, basically. So the war basically which has started basically, the reason basically is one only basically, some new blood group basically came into the picture basically, and that person's basically story basically is equal to war basically. That also basically you can say that basically. So that is basically comes to like this: problem solution equal to new blood cells group came into earth environment, and the most dangerous thing basically which I am going to tell, the blood group which has came basically, he might possible that basically if he has entered into that basically, that means the all blood group basically has fired that particular person, and then only basically the new blood group came into the picture basically. So here the two solutions basically are there. Either basically the one solution is basically accept all blood group basically, accept the all blood group basically. That means the new blood group is supposed to be acceptance, they have to accept the new blood group. Another alternative basically is they basically will be going to fight with this particular new blood group basically. Peace or fight. One is good things basically going to happen basically. One is peace, another is fight. So one of the person told that peace basically is Bollywood group basically, and war basically that is police industry basically. That is the police group basically. Because they only know create it, finish it. That's all basically. They only know that only because they have given that type of training only basically. But creation basically contains their entire creation also, because they have also one of the world basically, you can say basically. They also have family, they also have basically the human needs, they also basically have the enjoyment, each and everything basically there. They basically are also connected with the Bollywood groups, they are also basically connected with the set of software companies. Like this, peace or war basically. Either basically the old blood group basically, I have taken as an example of 22 blood group basically, and the new blood group basically. So this 22 blood group will basically will go with this person basically, because they have to go basically. Why? Because the new blood group has created, that means the entire world is going to be one day going to connect with this particular blood group basically. One day basically, one day this is going to connect basically, one day basically this is going to connect. So one of the person told that, for example, assume that basically this new blood group basically came into the picture, he basically came into some problem basically. Assume that just taking as an example. So when basically he came into the problem, that means existing blood group basically which has created, that is a 22 blood group, they have given the person problem basically. They have given the particular, because his blood group basically will never give him problem basically. Or basically assume that basically his blood group also basically given the problem. So they, his blood group basically given the problem, that means the solution basically they are going to find basically. New blood group, old blood group basically has given the problem, that means basically they have to find basically peace or war. This is only basically going to happen basically. So one of the person told that this group are basically responsible for 22 crore murder basically. Sorry, not 22 crore, more than 100 crore people actually died basically. So this group are responsible for 100 crore murder. This was actually murder. So that basically Bollywood group have to accept it. And in this basically the peace group are more responsible, because they can basically, they basically can stop that basically. The things basically which has happened basically 100 crore people basically which was murder, they basically can stop that basically. But they have not stopped basically it. So murder basically has already happened. So now basically things is this basically. That is because in war basically the whole world is not going to jump into that basically. If whole world basically is going to jump into war, then basically the world will end basically. So 1,75,000 city basically is already there. In this basically stories has basically generated. In this basically the war already started. That story is equal to problem solution basically. and problem solution basically this group basically only can do. So